from the beginning a few times. Sorry.
我哋由頭再唱一次啊！
Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. One more time, please.
我哋再試多一次啊！
And now, let us sing with our body. Brother Pháp Ứng next to me, he does the gestures, and we will sing and do the gesture and feel each word we sing.
我哋呢一次唱嘅時候咧，就做埋手勢啦。Sister 旁邊嗰位 brothers 咧就會做手勢，咁大家可以跟住佢嘅手勢而去做啊。
And let us release all the tension in our body. Let us relax so that we can really bloom like a flower and be fresh as the dew.
我哋盡量去嘗試放鬆我哋身體，令我哋真正感受到猶如露水咁清新，花朵咁燦爛。
Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. And then I am solid as a mountain. Everyone, please. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am firm as the earth. I am free. I am free. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. When we sing, I am solid as the mountain and I am firm as the earth, let us be really solid and firm by releasing our pain, our suffering.
當我哋唱猶如高山咁穩固、大地咁穩陣嘅時候呢，我哋嘗試下真正感受到我哋心中嗰份嘅穩定同埋安樂，把我哋心中嘅煩惱呢完全排遣出去。
And we are free from all anxieties and worries.
我哋已經能夠排除咗一切擔憂啦，同埋恐懼啦。
Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as the mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. more time,
再唱一次好唔好啊？
and then we will have a short sitting meditation.
然之後我哋唱完之後呢，我哋就可以靜坐一會。
Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Now, with this song, we can have sitting meditation, a guided sitting meditation.
從呢隻歌呢，我哋開始而家呢，就由呢一個有帶領嘅禪修。
When you go home, you can use this song for your sitting meditation.
當你翻到屋企嘅時候呢，你亦都可以依着呢隻歌呢，作為你嘅禪修嘅指引。
And we can start like this. Breathing in, I'm aware of my in-breath.
咁當我哋吸入嘅時候，我哋係覺察到我哋嘅吸入嘅。
Breathing out, I'm aware of my out-breath.
當我哋呼出嘅時候，我亦都覺察到我自己嘅呼出。
Now, let us be aware of our in-breath and out-breath and enjoy it for a few minutes.
咁我哋而家嘗試下去留意我哋自己嘅吸入同埋呼出，享受下呢個呼吸嘅過程。
Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole body.
吸入嘅時候，我覺察到我全身。
Breathing out, I relax my whole body.
當我呼出嘅時候，我放鬆我全身。
Whole body, relax.
全身放鬆。
Breathing, breathing in, I let go of all worries and anxiety.
我吸入嘅時候，完全放下一切擔憂同埋憂慮。
Breathing out, I relax my mind.
呼出嘅時候，我放鬆我個心。
Let go of worries. Relax mind.
放鬆心，安樂。
Breathing in, I visualize myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel blooming like a like a flower.
吸入嘅時候，我見到自己猶如一朵花；呼出嘅時候，我感受到一個燦爛嘅花，一朵花。
Flower blooming.
花燦爛。
Breathing in, I feel fresh. Breathing out, I feel like the dew.
吸入嘅時候，我感到清新；呼出嘅時候，猶如一滴露水。
Fresh dew.
清新露水。
Breathing in, I feel solid. Breathing out, I see myself like a mountain.
吸入嘅時候，我感到穩固；呼出嘅時候，猶如一座山。
Solid mountain.
穩固山。
Breathing in, I feel free from stress, from worries. Breathing out, I feel happy.
吸入嘅時候，我感覺我從擔憂同埋緊張之中得到釋放；呼出嘅時候，我感覺安樂。
Free, happy.
自由、幸福。
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. 請各位起立，一行禪師進場。Please be seated. 請就座。各位法師、各位朋友，歡迎各位嚟到香港會議展覽中心參加由一行禪師主持嘅愛與了解幸福之道講座。Venerables, friends, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center, and join us for the talk by Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, Love and Understanding, Path to the True Well-Being. And now may I invite Professor C.F. Lee, Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Hong Kong, to say a few words. 我哋而家有請李卓芬教授，香港大學副校長，同我哋講幾句説話。
Zen Master and dear Teacher Tay, members of the Plum Village delegation, members of the Sangha, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. For the past week or so, Hong Kong has been blessed with the wisdom of our great teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh. Through retreat sessions and lectures, the response to which has been overwhelming, as illustrated by the size and the enthusiasm of our audience here tonight. The organizer has asked me to briefly introduce the Zen Master. Well, the Zen Master is so well known worldwide, it suffices to say that it's a very rare, an extremely rare combination, shall I say, of a very inspiring teacher, a prolific writer, poet, scholar, and champion of the cause of peace. So much so that he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the year 1967. He was also honored in Time magazine's 60 Years of Asian Heroes last year. He's 81 years old now, and is one of the most influential spiritual leader of the world. 禪師、各位法師、各位嘉賓，晚安。好多謝大家光臨我哋今晚嘅佛學講座。我喺度簡單同大家介紹一下我哋今晚非常之傑出嘅講者一行禪師。禪師出生於越南，係當代非常之著名嘅詩人、學者、老師同埋和平主義者，亦都係當今世界上最具影響力嘅佛教精神領袖。1967年嘅時候，被馬丁路德 金博士咧提名諾貝爾和平獎。喺去年咧，亦都獲選為《時代》雜誌亞洲英雄60載。禪師咧寫咗100本嘅著作，其中咧好多本咧都係非常之暢銷嘅書嘅。咁佢嘅文字咧係非常之簡潔，咁好多人睇完佢嘅詩咧都係得到好大嘅啟發嘅。咁今晚嘅演講，我唔再阻大家嘅時間啦，咁就請大家以熱烈嘅掌聲歡迎一行禪師為我哋開示。
Dear friends, the monastic will offer a chant reciting the name of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara.
各位朋友，而家由梅村嘅僧團咧，為大家獻上呢個觀世音菩薩聖號嘅念誦。
We all are invited to sit relaxingly and open our heart so that the energy of the Bodhisattva could penetrate into our body.
咁我邀請大家咧坐得放鬆少少，容許觀世音菩薩嘅慈悲力量咧進入我哋嘅心中裏邊。
That will help release the tensions and the pain we have in our body.
咁佢會觀世音菩薩嘅聖號嘅加持咧，係可以減低我哋身體上邊嘅種種嘅痛苦嘅。
If we have pain, or sorrow, or fear, or despair within our heart, we may like to open our heart in order for the energy of the Bodhisattva to penetrate, embrace, and transform these blocks of pain, sorrow, and fear.
如果你心中有呢個恐懼啊、擔憂啊、無奈啊、種種嘅痛苦咧，請你接受觀世音菩薩聖號嘅擁抱、加持同埋轉化你呢啲咁嘅種種嘅痛苦同埋不安。
If we have someone who is very close to us and who actually suffers very much, could not come tonight, we might like to send this energy to him or to her by just thinking of that person or calling his or her name, and then the energy will be channeled to that person right away.
如果你有啲親人或者摯愛，而家今日唔能夠出席嘅，而係喺度喺呢個痛苦或者疾病之中嘅，咁請你輕輕呼喚佢嘅名稱，就把觀世音菩薩慈悲嘅力量轉送俾佢，令到佢都得到安樂。
We are invited to be fully present in the here and the now, not thinking about the past or the future in order for the practice to be successful.
咁請你把你而家嘅心帶返嚟當下此時此刻，因為只有當你嘅心喺此時此刻嘅時候，我哋呢一個修練先至會成功。
breathing in, I know I am alive.
吸入嘅時候，我知道我係活着嘅。
Breathing out, I smile to life in me and around me.
我呼出嘅時候，我對生命同埋我旁邊嘅生命微笑。
Dear friends, love is something alive and should be given food every day.
各位朋友，其實愛係一個生命嚟嘅，佢係應該得到每天都得到滋養同埋食物。
If you don't feed your love, it will die. It will turn into something else like hate.
如果你每一日都唔滋養或者去照顧你嘅愛，佢就會轉變為一啲其他嘅嘢，例如憎恨。
Usually, when we talk about love, we think about loving another person.
通常我哋講愛係好似係去愛一啲其他嘅人。
In the Buddhist teaching, it is very clear that if you cannot love and take care of yourself, it will not be possible for you to love and take care of another person.
喺佛教嘅傳承裏邊啊，講得好清楚就係、如果你唔能夠好好愛同埋照顧你自己，你係冇辦法去愛同埋照顧其他人。
This is a basic teaching of the Buddha, and we should not forget that. Self-love is the foundation for the love of another person.
咁我哋應該唔好忘記呢個係佛陀根本嘅教化之中嘅其中一個條文，就係、如果你唔能夠愛自己，你就冇辦法去愛其他人。
The second thing the Buddha said is that if you don't understand, you cannot love.
咁佛陀第二句亦都係指出，如果你唔明白，你亦都冇辦法去愛。
If the husband does not understand the wife, and then it would be impossible for him to love and make his wife happy.
如果一個丈夫唔明白了解佢太太，佢係冇辦法令到佢太太幸福同埋快樂。
If the mother does not understand the daughter, and the mother would not be able to make her daughter happy.
如果媽媽唔明白個女，媽媽係冇辦法令到女兒快樂嘅。
Understand here, first of all, means understanding the suffering, the difficulty.
喺呢度我講明白係想指出係明白痛苦同埋困難。
When the father does not understand the suffering and the difficulties of his son, it will be impossible for him to love and make his son happy.
如果一個爸爸唔能夠明白到佢個仔嘅痛苦同埋困難，佢亦都冇辦法去愛同埋令到佢個仔幸福同埋快樂。
The willingness to love and to make the other person happy is not yet love.
一個意願去愛同埋關懷，其實並非還是未係愛同埋關懷。
If we do not have enough time to look at the other person in order to understand deeply his or her own sufferings and difficulties, well, even if we have the intention to love and make him or her happy, we cannot make him or her happy.
如果我哋冇時間去關懷同埋了解到對方嘅痛苦同埋困難，我哋係冇辦法去關懷同埋愛護對方。
If we want to love and to take care of ourselves, we should also understand our own suffering, our own difficulties.
如果我哋想去愛同埋關懷自己，我哋首先要明白到自己嘅痛苦同埋困難。
Many of us suffer. Many of us have difficulties, but we do not understand our suffering. We do not understand our difficulties. That is why we cannot take care of ourselves. We cannot love ourselves.
我哋好多人都有呢個痛苦同埋困難，但係因為我哋對我哋自己嘅痛苦同埋困難唔明白、唔理解，所以我哋唔識得去關懷同埋愛護、照顧自己。
Every one of us has some tension, some pain within our body.
喺我哋每人內心裏邊都有啲痛苦啊，同埋不安。
And because we don't know why and how these tensions and pains have been accumulated in us, we don't know how to take care of ourselves, and we don't know how to release our tension and our pain.
當我哋如果唔明白到我哋內心嘅緊張同埋痛苦，咁我哋唔知道佢係點樣積累嘅，咁我哋就冇辦法去處理呢啲緊張同埋痛苦。
Sometimes we have a minor pain, physical pain, but because we don't understand that, we imagine a lot of things. We are angry at that, we worry a lot about that, and we make our pain grow bigger.
有時我哋想照顧身體上嘅痛苦，但係因為我哋對呢啲痛苦嘅出現啊，唔明白、唔理解，而更加擔心呢啲痛苦，繼而令到痛苦更加加大咗。
The Buddha speak about the second arrow. When you are struck by one arrow, you suffer. But when you are struck by a second arrow, exactly at the same place, your pain will not be only double, but it will be 10 times more intense.
佛陀講到有兩支箭，當我哋中咗第一支箭，而唔識去處理第一支箭嘅時候，第二支箭就出現，而第二支箭所產生嘅痛苦係比第一支箭嘅痛苦係大10倍。
If we have some pain, and if we are angry at that, we worry a lot about that, we suffer much more. And that kind of worry or anger is called by the Buddha the second arrow.
咁如果我哋有一啲痛苦，而因為呢啲痛苦，我哋去擔憂、恐懼，而呢啲擔憂、恐懼就令到我哋第一支箭嘅痛苦咧膨脹、深化。咁呢啲第二支箭引生嘅痛苦咧，佛陀就稱之為我哋嘅第二支箭嘅痛苦。
We know that in our daily life, we allow tensions and pain to be accumulated in our body.
我哋知道，我哋喺日常嘅生活裏邊啦，我哋容許呢個緊張啊、痛苦咧喺我哋身體裏邊積累嘅。
And because we are busy running after some projects, willing to make more money, fame, we don't have the time to take care of ourselves and to release the tension and the pain that are already in us.
咁因為我哋時常啊去忙碌，就係為咗我哋嘅計劃啊，為咗我哋嘅理想而去做，咁繼而咧就冇辦法識得去照顧我哋內心所積累 嘅緊張同埋痛苦。
We allowed the pain and tension to be accumulated, and that that is the ground of many kind of sickness that will happen to us.
咁我哋容許呢啲緊張同埋痛苦積累，咁呢啲痛苦同埋積累下嚟呢，就成為好多疾病嘅成因。
In the Sutra of Mindful Breathing, the Buddha advised us to breathe and bring our mind back to our body and recognize the presence of our body.
咁喺念處經裏邊，佛陀就教我哋把我哋嘅專注力帶回去我哋嘅身體，咁我哋先至能夠識得去照顧佢。
The exercise is very simple. The Buddha said, breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I smile to my body.
呢個活動係其實好容易嘅。當我哋吸入嘅時候，我哋留意到我哋嘅身體；當我哋呼出嘅時候，對身體微笑。
In our daily life, we are very seldom with our body. Our mind get caught either in the regret concerning the past, or worries concerning the future, or in our projects, our fear, our anger. That is why our mind is not very often with our body.
其實我哋喺日常嘅生活呢，我哋好少照顧到或者關顧到我哋嘅身體，因為我哋忙於反思過去啊，擔憂未來啊，對我哋嘅計劃啊，對尋找種種嘅心目之中嘅理想，因而呢對我哋嘅身體呢，好多時候都遺忘咗。
And we have mistreated our body and make it suffer quite a lot.
咁我哋好多時呢都唔識得處理身體，繼而令到身體受苦。
Breathing in and breathing out mindfully, we bring our mind back to our body and reconcile with our body.
當我哋吸入同埋呼出嘅時候，保持呢個正念同埋觀照，咁我哋就能夠同身體協調。
So the first step is to breathe in and to be aware of the presence of our body, and breathe out, smile to our body. That is a smile of reconciliation.
吸入嘅時候，我哋感覺到身體嘅存在；呼出嘅時候，我哋對身體微笑，而呢個微笑就係對身體嘅一個協調。
And the second exercise proposed by the Buddha is also simple. Breathing in, I allow my body to relax. Breathing out, I release all tension in my whole body.
咁第二個修練呢，亦都係好容易嘅。吸入嘅時候，我放鬆；呼出嘅時候，我把身體全身嘅緊張都放下。
We know that the tension, the stress in our body is the ground for all kind of disease, including mental disease.
咁我哋知道身體上嘅緊張同痛苦係好多疾病嘅來源，包括埋心靈上嘅痛苦或者心靈上嘅疾病。
And if we know how to practice these two exercises every day, we'll be able to release our tension and prevent many kind of illness that can happen to us.
如果我哋能夠識得去點樣如果我哋能夠每日都能夠做呢兩個運動咧，我哋能夠把身體同埋心靈上好多嘅疾病咧都可以免除咗。
The Buddha teaches us to take care of our body, to love our body,
佛陀教我哋去照顧同埋愛我哋嘅身體。
And the teaching is still very relevant
而呢
to
個
our time.
而呢個教導呢，對我哋今日呢，還是喺有好能夠應用得到喺我哋今時今日嘅。
The Buddha also gave us an exercise in the same sutra of mindful breathing in order to take care of our feelings and our emotions.
咁喺同一個經典裏邊啦，佛陀亦都教咗我哋第二個練習，去照顧我哋嘅心靈同埋情緒。
Every time we notice that fear or anger is coming up, we should go back to our mindful breathing in order to recognize and embrace tenderly that energy of fear or anger.
咁當我哋每一次感到恐懼同埋憤怒嘅時候，我哋亦都應該去擁抱呢個憤怒同埋恐懼。
Breathing in, I'm aware of my anger. Breathing out, I embrace tenderly my anger.
吸入嘅時候，我擁抱我嘅憤怒；呼出嘅時候，我放下我嘅憤怒。
By recognizing your anger, your pain, by embracing it tenderly, you release the tension in it, and you get a relief.
當你能夠擁抱你嘅憤怒嘅時候呢，你就能夠放鬆咗因憤怒而引起嘅緊張啊，同埋痛苦嘅。
And if we go further with mindfulness and concentration, we can recognize the roots of our anger, our fear, and transform our anger and our fear.
咁如果我哋再進一步明白到呢一個痛苦同埋恐懼嘅根源呢，我哋就能夠更善巧去照顧佢哋。
And this kind of practice is really the practice of love, love addressed to oneself.
咁呢啲咁嘅修練呢，其實係對自己嘅一種愛，對自己嘅一種修練嚟。
And that love is possible only when you have enough understanding of your own difficulties, your own pain and sorrow.
咁呢一種愛啊，只能夠發生或者運作，係你對你自己嘅痛苦同困難有明白同埋了解。
Pain, sorrow, suffering is the first noble truth.
呢個痛苦啊、辛苦啊，係四聖諦嘅第一聖諦。
If we have the time to look deeply into our sorrow, our fear, our pain, we will discover the roots of the suffering, and that is the second noble truth.
咁當我哋對傷心啊、痛苦有深切嘅了解嘅時候，我哋就明白到呢啲傷心痛苦嘅成因。呢個就係四聖諦第二嘅聖諦。
The Buddha said this: what has come to be, if you look deeply into it and find out the source of nutriment that you have used to feed it, you are already on the path of emancipation.
咁佛陀指出，當一件事出現嘅時候，你明白到佢嘅成因，滋養佢嘅因緣，咁你已經開始識得去治療同埋安撫 呢個事情。
What has come to be, that means the suffering that you have in yourself.
所講話出現嘅嘢，就係嗰啲憂心同埋痛苦喺我哋嘅心出現嗰啲。
If you suffer from a depression, and that depression is what has come to be with you.
咁如果你係有呢個抑鬱症嘅，咁呢個抑鬱症嘅產生就係頭先所講嘅凡所出現嘅事情啦。
You have lived in such a way in the last 6 months that have made the depression possible.
咁你可能喺過去6個月啦，都種下好多成因，令到你嘅抑鬱症出現。
There may have been a lot of anger, fear, uncertainty, and despair. That is why you have been feeding your depression, and now it has been settled in you as suffering.
咁可能喺過去6個月，你有好多擔憂啊、恐懼啊、無奈啊、憤怒啊。咁喺經過呢個6個月嘅栽培咧，咁你呢個抑鬱症咧，就而家咧喺你嘅身體或者呢個心靈上邊咧出現咗，或者安住下嚟。
The Buddha has spoken about the second noble truth in terms of nutriment.
佛陀講呢個第二聖諦、集聖諦，其實就係講緊嗰啲滋養苦嘅成因嗰啲元素。
You may have been feeding your suffering. That is why the suffering has become too important.
咁因為你喺度不斷滋養你嘅痛苦，咁你嘅痛苦就成為好重要。
Looking deeply into the nature, into the roots of our suffering, we can discover, we can recognize the source of nutriment that we have used to feed it.
咁當我哋能夠對我哋嘅痛苦深入嘅了解嘅時候，我哋就明白到呢啲係什麼因緣、什麼資源、什麼養分去養成我哋嘅抑鬱症。
And if we decide to cut off the source of nutriment, and then the suffering will have to go in a few weeks.
咁如果我哋決定把呢啲營養品、呢啲滋養嘅種種嘅條件cut斷佢、打斷佢，咁我哋嘅抑鬱症同埋我哋嘅痛苦咧，就會因此而斷除。
That is why the Buddha said, what has come to be, if you look deeply into its nature and identify the source of nutriment, then you are already on the path of salvation, emancipation.
咁所以佛陀話，凡所出現嘅嘢，你能夠深入明白佢嘅養分同埋佢嘅成因咧，咁你已經係開始步向呢個解脫同埋安樂嘅道路。
If we know how to take care of ourselves, how to release the tension in our body and to transform our suffering, we are truly loving ourselves.
咁如果我哋能夠識得去明白、深深明白我哋嘅緊張啊，同埋我哋嘅痛苦，咁我哋先至能夠真正去識得去愛同埋照顧自己。
And when we have been able to do that for ourselves, it will be much easier to love and to take care of the other person.
如果我哋能夠好似頭先咁講，去愛同埋照顧自己， 咁我哋就能夠好容易咁去同樣地愛同埋照顧其他人。
You are fresh now. You don't suffer now. You are relaxed now. You have your quality of presence is better, much better than before.
咁因為你而家係得到重生，得到放鬆，得到自在，所以你比之前好好多。
The most precious thing we may offer to the person we love is our fresh and pleasant presence.
咁我哋最珍貴能夠去貢獻俾或者俾我哋愛嘅人，就係我哋嘅清新啊，同埋我哋自己本身嘅存在。
When you suffer, when you are angry, you don't have much to offer to the person you love.
當你係痛苦同埋憤怒嘅時候，你冇乜嘢可以貢獻俾你所愛嘅人。
You are not fresh, you are not loving, so the quality of your presence is poor.
你唔清新，你唔可愛，所以你嘅存在，你能夠分享嘅係好少。
That is why to practice in order to become more fresh, more loving, more available, that is the first step of true love.
咁去修練，令到自己清新，令到自己可愛，係真正嘅愛嘅第一步嚟嘅。
If you are too occupied, too busy, you cannot offer your presence to the person you love. How can you love when you are not there, if you are not there?
所以當你係太忙、太冇時間嘅時候，你點樣能夠去愛？你都唔喺度。
There is a businessman who asked his little boy, 12-year-old, what he would like for his next birthday. The young man did not know how to answer because his father is so rich. He could afford to buy him anything. But what he needs is the presence of his father, who is always busy.
咁有一個好有錢嘅商人，咁佢就問佢12歲嘅仔，佢想愛咩禮物作為佢嘅生日禮物呢？咁佢個仔都唔知點答佢，因為佢爸爸用錢買到佢所有嘢都買得到，但係佢個仔所需要嘅係佢爸爸嘅存在或者佢爸爸嘅出現。
When you are too busy running after fame or money, trying to get a better house, a more beautiful car, you have no time in order to be, to offer your presence, your pleasant, loving presence to the person you love.
咁當你係好忙碌咁去為名啊、為利啊、為你嘅車啊同埋你間屋，咁你邊有時間？邊有能夠你嘅存在、你嘅出現，你點可以俾到你嘅愛人？
According to the teaching of the Buddha, the father, the busy father, the busy businessman should practice mindful breathing in order to come home to himself, to be fully present in the here and the now.
咁根據佛陀嘅教導啊，一個忙碌嘅商人啊，第一步呢， 就要去識得去呼吸，而識得回到當下此時此刻，而活在當下。
The practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking can bring your mind back to your body, and you'll be established in the present moment.
呢一個專注對我哋嘅呼吸嘅專注，對我哋嘅步行，對我哋嘅行禪嘅專注，係能夠幫我哋把我哋嘅心帶回去當下此時此刻嘅。
And when you are fully present in the here and the now, you can look into the eyes of the person you love and you can say, "Darling, I'm truly here for you."
咁當你能夠真真正正活在此時此刻嘅時候，你就可以望住你嘅愛人，同佢講：親愛的，我真係喺度為你而存在。
To be truly there for the person you love is the most wonderful gift you can make to him or to her.
咁當你能夠為對方而存在，呢一個係最美麗同埋最好嘅禮物。
When you are truly there, fully present, you can do more, you can do better.
當你能夠真係活在此時此刻，而係活在當下嘅時候，你就可以做多啲，同埋做得更好啲。
Because you are truly there, you are in a position of recognizing the presence of the person you love.
因為你係活在當下，因為你喺度，咁所以你先至能夠真真去覺察到、關照到、明白到你所愛嘅人嘅存在。
Looking into the eyes of the other person, you may like to say, "Darling, I know you are there, and I'm very happy."
咁當你喺度存在嘅時候，咁你就可以望住對方隻眼，就覺得同對方講：我親愛的，我知道你嘅真實嘅存在。
To love means to recognize the presence of the other person.
去愛係去接受、覺察到對方嘅存在。
If the other person is not there for you, if the other person ignore your presence, you don't have the feeling that you are loved, even if the other person bring home a lot of money.
咁當對方心不在焉嘅時候，個心都唔喺度嘅時候，你係冇辦法去愛對方。雖然對方係可以帶返好多錢啊，好多物質享受俾你。
Recognized, embraced by your presence, the other person will bloom like a flower.
咁當你因為你嘅存在嘅擁抱，係因為得到你嘅存在嘅擁抱，對方可以猶如一朵花咁去燦爛。
This is the practice of mindfulness, because mindfulness is the kind of energy that can help bring our mind back to our body to be fully present.
咁呢個就係禪修覺察專注嘅能力，因為通過呢個禪修專注嘅能力，我哋可以把我哋嘅心帶返嚟此時此刻。
And when we are fully present in the here and the now, we can get in touch with all the wonders of life within us and around us for our nourishment and healing.
咁當我哋能夠通過禪修而真真正正活在此時此刻， 咁我哋先至能夠明白到生命種種嘅珍貴嘅事情，而明白到身邊嘅可愛同埋去珍惜身邊嘅人。
When you are truly present here and now, you have a chance to recognize the presence of your sorrow, your pain, in order to take care of them.
咁只有當通過我哋活在此時此刻，我哋先至能夠去認識到我哋嘅傷心啊，同埋痛苦。咁因為我哋認識到佢，所以我哋先能夠好好去照顧佢哋。
Many of us, including business and political leaders, are so eager to succeed in our enterprise. That is why we do not have the chance to be there in the present moment to take care of ourselves and to take care of our beloved ones.
咁因為好多商人同埋政治家為咗佢哋嘅事業同埋企業呢，就好忙碌，而不能活在當下，不能活在此時此刻，亦都更加唔識得去愛自己同埋照顧身邊嘅人。
Many of us seem to believe that happiness is not possible now. We need a few more conditions in order to be really happy. That is why we continue to run into the future.
我哋好多人唔知道或者唔認為而家係可以幸福同埋安樂嘅。我哋成日都以為當我再有多一兩個條件之後咧，我就會開心同埋快樂。
One of the most basic teaching of the Buddha is it is possible to live happily right in the present moment.
咁係佛陀一個基本嘅教法，就係我哋可以喺當下此時此刻咧，都可以活得幸福同埋快樂嘅。
The Sanskrit term is Drista Dharma Sukha Vihara. It means hiện pháp lạc trú, living happily right in the present moment.
咁喺梵文同埋呢個越南語裏邊咧，都有一啲講到我哋能夠喺當下此時此刻活得快樂嘅語句。
One day, 500 businessmen came to visit the Buddha, and the Buddha gave them a Dhamma talk. In that Dhamma talk, he advised the businessmen that they can already live happily in the present moment.
咁有一日有500個商人啊，去到請佛陀為佢哋講開示。咁佛陀就為佢哋講：你哋係可以喺當下此時此刻咧，活得幸福同埋快樂。
The Buddha understood very well that the businessmen they think a little bit too much about the future, and that is why he has given this teaching, and the expression living happily in the present moment was repeated by him 5 times in that discourse.
咁喺佛陀個開示嘅時候啊，佛陀講咗5次，我哋係可以喺此時此刻活得幸福同埋快樂嘅。
There is a simple exercise that I would like to invite my friends to do.
咁佛禪師而家咧有一個簡單嘅練習咧，希望大家去做嘅。
Take a sheet of paper and write down the conditions of happiness you think that you don't have, you may have in the future.
咁請大家喺呢張紙上邊咧，就寫低你一啲你認為你需要得到嘅條件，令到你快樂嘅條件。 寫下一啲你有咗呢啲條件，你先至可以快樂嘅。
You might you might write down a list of these conditions, like a diploma, a position in society, and there may be 5 or 6 or 7 conditions that you think you don't have.
咁呢啲條件可能係你話我要畢到業攞咗張證書啊，或者我升咗職之後啊，呢啲咁嘅條件可能有6、7個咁多。
And then turn to the other side of paper and write down the conditions of happiness you already have in the present moment.
咁你反轉張紙，而喺張紙嘅背後呢，就寫下一啲你已經擁有，令到你幸福快樂嘅條件，即係你而家已經有咗嘅條件。
I don't think one page is enough for you to write down all the conditions of happiness you already have.
咁可能一張紙啊，你都寫唔晒，有能夠令到你幸福嘅條件，已經出現咗嘅條件，一張紙都可能寫唔晒。
Like my feet are still very strong. I can run. I can walk.
我隻腳可能好健康，我可以行，可以走。
Like my eyes are still in good condition. Every time I open my eyes, I can get in touch with the paradise of forms and colors.
咁我可能有我隻眼，我還是存在。當我每一次擘開佢嘅時候，我都見到呢啲形相啊、顏色嘅淨土。
My heart still functions very well.
我個心還是好健康。
There are people who worry too much about their heart because they don't have a heart that functions normally like mine.
有好多人嘅心都唔係活得唔係好健康嘅，例如少少話佢個心麻麻地。
There are so many basic conditions of happiness within yourself and around you to be recognized.
咁其實喺我哋身邊啊，已經有好多令到我哋開心嘅條件存在㗎啦。
The person I love is still alive, living with me.
我愛嘅人還是喺我身邊存在同埋活着。
And if we come home to the present moment and recognize the presence of these conditions of happiness, and then we can be happy right now, right away. We don't have to wait for the future to be happy.
咁如果我哋能夠回到當時此時此刻，而明白到、了解到或者知道我哋身邊而家所有呢啲能夠令到我哋開心嘅條件嘅存在嘅時候，咁我哋就可以喺當下此時此刻都可以活得開心同埋快樂。
This teaching is also available in the Gospel.
呢啲教導啊，喺聖經裏邊都有。
In the Gospel, according to Matthew, it is said that don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself.
咁喺聖經裏邊有講到話，你唔好擔心明天咧，明天會照顧自己㗎啦。
I'm surprised to see that this basic teaching of the Buddha is ignored by many people, including the Buddhists living in temples.
咁我好詫異啊！呢個咁重要嘅教導，好多人都唔留意得到，包括好多佛教徒，而係住喺寺院裏邊嘅佛教徒。
If you come home to the present moment, you can get in touch with so many wonders of life, and you are capable of walking in the kingdom of God, in the pure land of the Buddha, right in the here and the now.
咁如果你能夠活到回歸到當下此時此刻，你就會感受到、了解到、觀察到當下好多奇妙嘅美麗嘅事情。咁你就能夠活在天國，乃至到活在淨土之中。
I have been telling my Buddhist friends that they don't need to die in order to be reborn into the pure land of the Buddha.
我成日都話俾我啲佛教朋友聽啊，佢係唔需要死咗先至能夠生到去佛陀嘅淨土。
If they come home to the present moment, releasing their tension, their suffering, and then the pure land will be manifested for them right in the here and the now.
咁只要佢能夠回到當下，照顧到佢哋而家當下嘅緊張同埋痛苦啊，咁淨土就能夠喺佢哋面前顯現出嚟。
Our teachers in the past have taught us that the Pure Land is really in our heart.
咁我哋過往嘅老師咧，都話咗俾我哋聽，淨土其實係喺我哋嘅心裏邊。
I have also been telling my Christian friends that they don't need to die in order to go to the kingdom of God.
我亦都有話俾我嘅天主教或者基督教嘅朋友聽，佢哋係唔需要死咗先至去到天堂。
With some mindfulness and concentration, they can get free from their sorrow, their fear, and with one step, they can step into the kingdom of God already.
只要少少嘅專注同埋覺察能力，去照顧我哋心中嘅痛苦啊、緊張同埋擔憂咧，少少嘅一步，我哋已經能夠踏上天堂。
If you master the practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking, and then the pure land of the Buddha, the kingdom of God will be available to you right here and right now.
咁只要通過對呼吸嘅觀照、對步行嘅覺察同埋留心，咁呢個天國嘅淨同埋佛陀嘅淨土，都係喺此時此刻可以成就。
The French writer André Gide said that God is happiness, and I like that idea.
有一個法國嘅作家話神就係快樂，禪師話佢好中意呢一個想法。
And he also said that God is available, happiness is available 24 hours a day.
咁佢亦都講到上帝同埋幸福喺24小時都可以出現同埋存在。
If God is available 24 hours a day, His kingdom is also available 24 hours a day.
如果神係24小時都能夠出現或者隨傳隨到嘅，咁佢嘅天國同樣是應該能夠24小時都能夠出現。
The kingdom is available to you. The problem that remains is whether you are available to the kingdom.
咁如果天國24小時都係可以俾你得到嘅，問題係你會唔會去令到你自己享受到天國
And the Buddhist practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking can help make you available to the kingdom of God, to the Pure Land of the Buddha.
咁佛陀教嘅對呼吸嘅專注觀照，係會幫我哋準備我哋去享用呢個天國，去令到我哋能夠達至到淨土，享受淨土嘅存在。
Walking meditation is a practice in which each step brings you home to the here and the now.
咁呢個行禪嘅修練啊，係喺每一步之中都能夠帶翻我哋落去到此時當下嘅此時此刻嘅。
Each step help us to cultivate solidity and freedom.
咁每一步都能夠為我哋建築呢個穩固同埋自由。
When you are well established in the present moment, the past can no longer pull you away. The future cannot pull you away, and that is why you become more solid.
咁當你能夠穩固地活在當下嘅此時此刻嘅時候，過去同埋未來都唔能夠掹咗你去或者打擾你。
You are free. You are capable of cultivating more freedom because you are no longer caught by the regret concerning the past or the fear, uncertainty concerning the future.
咁因為你能夠活在當下此時此刻，你能夠得到自由，因為你已經唔會因為對過去嘅後悔，或者對未來嘅擔憂同埋恐懼所干擾得到。
If every step brings you home to the here and now,
如果每一步都能夠帶到你回歸到當下此時此刻
you can touch all the wonders of life.
你能夠接觸到生命之中種種嘅奇妙同埋美麗。
For your nourishment and your healing.
去滋養你自己，同埋去康復。
There have been many sick people, many people who do not have a joy of life.
有好多病人啊，都冇呢一個生活嘅喜悅嘅。
And by practicing walking meditation, they can heal themselves, and then they can rediscover the joy of living.
咁如果佢哋能夠喺通過行禪呢，而回歸到當下此時此刻，佢哋能夠感受到生活之中嘅喜悅。
The Buddhist teaching of going home to the present moment does not forbid you to learn from the past or to make plans for the future.
咁佛教所講嘅回歸到當下嘅此時此刻，並非話你唔需要從過去嘅經驗中學習，或者為未來而去計劃嘅。
When you are well established in the present moment, you can bring the past back to you, and you can study and learn a lot from the past.
咁當你能夠活在當下此時此刻嘅時候，你就能夠把過去帶到嚟現在，而繼而從過去嘅經驗之中學習。
You are not forbidden to learn from the past. You are advised not to be caught by the regret and the sorrow concerning the past.
我哋唔係話唔俾你去反思過去，而只係希望你能夠活在當下，而唔會俾嗰啲你嘅後悔啊、痛苦所束縛。
When you are truly established in the present moment, you can bring the future into the present moment as the object of your study, and you can freely make plans and projects for the future.
咁當你能夠穩固地回歸到當下嘅時候，你就可以把未來啊帶到嚟而家，成為你研究學習嘅目標。咁你好好咁可以為未來而去打算。
The teaching does not forbid you to make projects for the future. It only advises you not to worry, to be fearful about the future.
咁呢一個修練冇制止或者阻止你為未來而去計劃同埋安排，而只係叫你唔好俾對未來嘅恐懼、擔憂所影響，或者因此而受到痛苦。
To worry too much about future, to be too afraid of the future, will only ruin the future.
咁當你對未來太擔憂同埋恐懼嘅時候，只會破壞你未來。
Looking deeply into the future, we know that the future will be made only of one substance, that is the present.
咁當你對未來有深入了解嘅時候，你知道未來只係由一種元素所組成，呢種元素就係現在。
So in that light, taking care of the present moment, the best way you can, that is about everything you can do to assure a good future.
咁你喺呢一個明白理解之下呢，你知道你要為未來安排，其實就係你要照顧好當下。
If there is difficulty in our relationship with the other person, that is because we do not really understand each other. We have many wrong perceptions of each other.
咁如果我哋喺人際關係上邊有困難，咁呢個嘅成因多數都係我哋唔明白同埋理解對方嘅困難同埋需要。
When communication has become difficult, happiness cannot be there.
當溝通係有困難嘅時候，幸福係唔可以出現。
And when parents cannot communicate with each other, the children will suffer.
當父母係唔能夠溝通嘅時候，子女係會受苦嘅。
When father and son do not communicate with each other, both of them suffer.
當父子唔能夠溝通嘅時候，佢哋兩個都受苦。
The Buddha proposed the practice of deep listening and loving speech.
咁佛陀呢就建議我哋要用心嘅聆聽同埋愛語。
Deep listening, compassionate listening is the practice of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara.
咁呢個內心嘅聆聽係觀世音菩薩 嘅修行。
If you practice deep listening, compassionate listening for 1 hour, you can help release a lot of suffering in the other person.
咁當你修呢個內心嘅聆聽或者慈悲嘅聆聽1個小時嘅時候，你能夠幫對方解除好多嘅痛苦。
The other person may have a lot of difficulties, suffering, despair, but so far no one has been able to listen to him or to her.
咁對方可能有好多痛苦啊、無奈啊、憂鬱啊，咁但係因為冇人可以聆聽佢嘅內心嘅説話，所以佢可能係好痛苦。
And if you practice listening to him or to her with compassion, you are playing the role of the Bodhisattva.
如果你能夠耐心地去聆聽佢一段時間，你就係喺度做緊菩薩嘅工作。
You may start by saying something like this, darling, I know that you have suffered a lot during the past few years.
你可能係咁樣講，佢話：親愛的，你可能喺過去幾年都受咗好多痛苦。
I have not been able to help you, and I have made the situation worse.
我未能夠好好去幫你，同埋好多時我係令到個情況更加困難。
That's because I do not understand your suffering, your difficulties.
咁因為係我唔明白到你嘅痛苦同埋困難。
I did not want to make you suffer. It's because I didn't understand. That is why I have reacted the way I have.
我其實唔係想咁樣做，不過我係未能夠明白同埋理解到你嘅困難，所以我有咁樣嘅行為。
So please help me, tell me what is in your heart, so that I can understand you, and not repeat the same kind of mistake.
咁請你同我分享你內心中嘅世界，等我唔好再重犯呢一個咁樣嘅過錯。
A wife can use that kind of language to speak with her husband. A father can use that kind of speech to talk to his son or daughter, and that is what we call loving speech.
咁一個太太或者一個爸爸同個仔，或者其他嘅親人，都可以用同樣嘅語句去同對方溝通。咁呢啲就係我哋所講嘅愛語。
You cannot use that kind of language unless you have seen somehow the suffering in the other person, and you have some compassion for it.
但係你如果唔能夠對對方嘅痛苦明白得到，你係唔可以用頭先嘅語言嘅。只有通過對對方嘅痛苦嘅明白，而產生一個慈悲心，你先至可以講出頭先所講嘅愛語。
In Plum Village, we have offered so many retreats of mindfulness a little bit everywhere in Europe and in North America.
喺梅村啊，我哋喺歐洲啊同埋美國咧，都去舉辦咗好多呢啲咁嘅退休嘅活動。
We have helped many couples, husband and wife, father and son, mother and daughter, to restore communication and to reconcile, thanks to the practice of loving speech and deep listening.
咁我哋幫到好多夫妻啊、父子啊、母女啊，去重新佢哋嘅關係，係呢啲就係通過呢個內心嘅聆聽同埋愛語嘅修練。
These retreats usually last 5 to 7 days.
呢啲咁嘅退修通常咧係由5至到7日咁長。
Every day we have a chance to learn how to practice mindful breathing, mindful walking to release the tensions in our body and in our feelings.
每一日咧，我哋都能夠去修練呢一個呼吸啦，去觀照我哋嘅呼吸啦，觀照我哋嘅行禪啦。
We listen to Dhamma talks in order to have the seed of understanding and compassion in us watered.
咁我哋聽開示啦，咁去通過呢啲開示，我哋去滋養我哋內心嘅慈悲啦，同埋種子。
And usually on the 5th day, practitioners have the capacity of using love and speech.
咁通常咧，到第5日咧，嗰啲修行人咧就可以用呢種愛語而去溝通。
Because the seed of understanding and compassion have been watered during 4 days.
咁佢哋嘅明白嘅種子同埋慈悲嘅種子咧，喺過去4天咧係得到滋潤。
When you speak to the other person with that kind of language, the door of his or her heart will open.
咁當你能夠用如是嘅語言同對方講話嘅時候，咁對方嘅心咧就會打開。
And the other person will tell you what is in his or her heart.
咁對方咧就會話俾你聽佢喺心中嘅説話。
You have to be very careful not to interrupt him or her.
你要小心唔好打斷對方嘅説話。
Not to correct him or her.
唔好糾正佢。
Because if you do so, you transform the session of deep listening into a dispute.
咁因為如果你打斷佢，你就會將呢一個愛語嘅溝通咧，就成為一個拗撬。
What the other person say may be full of bitterness.
對方嘅説話可能係充滿憤怒、
accusation, blame,
埋怨。
And especially wrong perceptions.
錯嘅見解。
And if you bear in mind that listening like this, you have only one purpose, giving the other person a chance to empty his heart, her heart, to get a relief.
咁你要心中記住啊！你呢次嘅聆聽其實係俾對方一個機會啊，去抒發佢內心裏邊嘅痛苦嘅。
With that in mind, you are able to continue the practice of deep listening.
如果你能夠抱住呢一個咁嘅心咧，你就能夠好好去修練呢一個內心嘅聆聽嘅修行啦。
You tell yourself that his speech is full of wrong perceptions, but I don't interrupt him now. I wait until a few days later in order to release some information that will help him to correct his perceptions.
咁你話俾自己聽，雖然對方所講嘅説話有好多地方係錯或者唔啱嘅，咁我等多過幾日，我先至話翻俾佢聽，佢 佢所嘅錯嘅地方。
And listening like that will help you to recognize also your own wrong perceptions.
你如果咁樣去聆聽嘅時候，亦都能夠令到你明白同或者覺察到你自己嘅錯嘅見解嘅。
And help you to help the other person to correct his or her own wrong perceptions.
亦都幫到對方去改變對方一啲錯嘅見解嘅。
In Plum Village, our practice center in France, we usually invite groups of Palestinians and Israelis to come every year to practice with us.
咁喺法國嘅梅村啊，我哋每一年咧都去邀請一啲巴基斯坦嘅人同埋呢個以色列嘅人嚟一齊去修行。
Usually in the beginning, the two groups didn't like to look at each other, didn't like to talk with each other because everyone is full of fear, suspicion, anger.
咁最初嘅時候啊，兩幫人都唔想互相交換眼神啊，或者對方講話，因為佢哋嘅相處嘅時候，心中係還有好多驚恐啊、懷疑啊。
In the first week, we offer them the practice of releasing tensions in the body and embracing their pain, their sorrow, their fear.
咁喺第一個星期咧，我哋就教佢哋點樣去釋放佢哋內心嘅緊張啊，去解化佢哋嘅擔憂同埋恐懼嘅。
And in the second week, we initiate them to the practice of deep listening and loving speech.
咁喺第二個禮拜咧，我哋就會教佢哋呢一個內心嘅聆聽同埋愛語嘅修練。
You are advised to tell everything, every kind of suffering that you have undergone.
咁你係可以話你可以盡情去抒發你內心嘅痛苦嘅。
But you should use a kind of language without blames and accusations.
咁但係你嘅語言呢，係唔應該有呢個怪責同埋埋怨。
And while listening like that, one group recognized for the first time that in the other group, people have suffered exactly like this side has suffered.
咁喺呢個通過呢個內心嘅聆聽之後啊，咁一邊呢就會深深咁明白到另外一邊所經歷嘅痛苦係同佢自己係一模一樣。
And for the first time, they could see that on the other side, there are also human beings who suffer exactly like on our side.
咁佢哋第一次覺知到對方亦都係人，而對方所感受嘅痛苦係同佢哋自己係一樣嘅。
And when you have seen that the suffering and understood the suffering, suddenly your way of looking at them change.
咁當你明白到對方嘅痛苦嘅時候，咁你忽然間呢，你對對方嘅注視呢，都會改變晒。
People in the other group recognize the element of compassion in your eyes.
咁對方係會睇得到對方眼神之中嘅慈悲。
When you can look at the other person with compassion, you don't suffer anymore, and the other person feel much better.
咁當你能夠用呢個慈悲嘅眼神望住對方嘅時候，你內心已經冇咗痛苦，而對方亦都會感覺好好多。
In the Lotus Sutra, there is a famous short sentence, looking at living beings with the eyes of compassion.
咁喺《妙法蓮華經》裏邊呢，有一句説話呢，成日都用講嘅就係用呢個慈眼視眾生。
And this teaching is wonderful because if you know how to use the eyes of the Bodhisattva, eyes of compassion to look, you don't suffer, and you make the other person stop suffering at the same time.
咁當你能夠用慈眼或者慈悲嘅眼神望眾生嘅時候，你亦都唔會再受痛苦，而對方亦都係因你嘅眼神嘅改變呢，而得到安樂嘅。
First, you look at your father, your mother, your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter with the eyes of compassion.
咁最初你就用你嘅慈眼去望你爸爸、媽媽、妻子、丈夫、兒女、孩子。
You are capable of looking like that because you have somehow understood their suffering.
你只能夠用慈眼去望對方嘅時候，係因為你明白到對方嘅痛苦。
After the second week of practice, the two groups, Palestinians and Israelis, begin to share meal together. They can hold hands and practice walking meditation together like old friends.
咁喺第二個禮拜嘅時候呢，咁嗰啲巴基斯坦人同埋啲以色列人呢，就能夠一齊食飯啊，一齊拖住手去行善。
And they always promise before leaving Plum Village that they will go home to the Middle East and organize so that other people can come and practice in order to suffer less.
咁每一次當佢哋離開梅村嘅時候啊，佢哋都承諾回歸到去中東嘅時候呢，佢哋會第二次呢就安排更多嘅人去梅村呢去收集或者去學習嘅。
The father can invite his son for a conversation.
爸爸可以邀請佢個仔去有一個溝通嘅機會。
He may like to say, "My dear son, I know you have suffered quite a lot in the last few years."
佢可能咁講，佢話阿仔，可能我知道你過去幾年都受咗好多痛苦。
I have not been able to help you, but I have made you suffer more by imposing my ideas, my way on you.
我可能令到我嘅情況更加困難，因為我時常把我嘅諗法去附加於你嘅身上，而令到你痛苦嘅。
That is why you should tell me, my son, of your difficulties with your suffering, so that I will understand you and to help you.
咁仔，請你話俾我聽，你話俾我聽你嘅痛苦同埋困難，容許我幫你啊。
I know many fathers who have been able to talk like that to their sons and daughters, and are able to reconcile with them and to help them.
我識得好多爸爸係用頭先嘅方法為同佢哋嘅仔女同埋溝通，而解決咗好多痛苦嘅。
Perhaps all of us have heard the teaching of the Buddha on impermanence and no self.
咁可能我哋每一個人都聽到佛陀所指出嘅無常同埋無我嘅教導。
The teaching of impermanence and no self can be applied in in relationship between husband and wife, father and son, mother and daughter.
咁呢個無常同埋無我嘅教導呢，係可以應用於喺夫妻嘅關係啊、父子啊、父女嘅關係之間嘅。
Impermanence is not a pessimistic note of music.
呢個無常唔係一個悲觀嘅音符。
That is the true nature of everything.
呢個係一切東西嘅本質嚟。
Practitioners are advised to maintain the concentration of impermanence alive in their daily life.
一個修行人啊，係應該時常咧，每一日都覺察到呢個無常嘅存在。
If you are aware that you are impermanent, and then you would not waste your time in not in things that are not truly useful.
咁當你明白到你自己嘅無常嘅時候，你就唔會喺啲無用嘅事情上邊嘥時間。
I'm aware of my being as impermanent. That is why I cherish the minutes and the hours that are available to me to live. I don't waste them in unuseful action and speech.
咁因為我了解到我自己嘅存在嘅無常，咁我就唔會喺我嘅語言啊，喺啲無謂嘅語言同埋行為上面去嘥時間。
If you are aware that your beloved one is impermanent, you would do everything you can today to make him or her happy. You don't wait for the future to do so, because waiting for tomorrow may be late.
咁你可能當你明白到你嘅至愛嘅無常嘅時候，你就唔會等到明天去令到佢幸福同埋快樂，因為明天可能係太遲。
I have seen people who cry a lot and throw themselves into the ground when their beloved one pass away.
我見過一啲人啊，好悲傷咁哭泣，而至到趴咗喺地下，因為佢一啲至愛嘅人嘅過身。
Observing and looking deeply, I have found out that the suffering comes not only for the regret, but also from the guilt people feel about the other person who just passed away.
咁我見到佢哋嘅痛苦，唔單止嚟自佢嘅後悔，而係好多時係來自佢嘅內疚。
You are not aware of impermanence. That is why you have not cherished his or her presence in the past. You have behaved not very kindly to him or to her, and now you regret since she has already passed away.
咁因為你唔明白佢嘅無常啊，咁所以喺你過往嘅時候咧，你做一啲嘢，你可能後悔，而你亦都未能好好珍惜同埋照顧對方嘅存在。
That is why the insight of impermanence help us know what to do and what not to do in the present moment.
咁呢一個無常嘅智慧啊，無常嘅理解咧，去幫到我哋去知道應該做啲乜嘢，同埋唔應該做啲乜嘢嘢。
that will allow us not to suffer and to make the person we love happy right today.
而令到幫我哋去為我哋嘅摯愛做一啲嘢，令到佢喺今時今日都得到幸福嘅。
The father can look, may like to practice looking at his own son deeply to recognize that his son is not just another person. His son is his continuation.
咁爸爸可能係深深咁注視佢嘅仔嘅時候，去望住佢嘅仔嘅時候，就明白到佢個仔唔係一個普通嘅第二個人，其實佢個仔係佢嘅延續嚟。
When we plant a seed of corn in the ground, 10 days later it will become a young plant of corn, and the young plant of corn is truly the continuation of the grain of corn.
咁當你種一粒粟米喺個地下嘅時候，10日之後你就有一棵幼細嘅樹苗，一個幼苗。咁呢一個幼嘅苗，其實真係嗰粒粟米嘅延續嚟嘅。
Looking into the person of the Son, we can see the Father, because in every cell of the Son, there is the full presence of the Father.
咁當你深深去注視一個孩子嘅時候，你就會見到父親，因為喺個孩子嘅每一個細胞裏邊都有父親嘅存在。
There are young men, young women who get so angry at their father, and they declare they don't want to have anything to do with that person, their father.
有啲年青嘅人啊，因為好嬲個父母，就而話我要同我爸爸媽媽係完全脫離關係嘅。
The fact is, you are the continuation of your father. You are your father.
其實嘅事實就係，你係你父親嘅延續嚟嘅，你就係你父親。
You cannot remove your father from yourself. He is present in every cell of your body.
你唔可以把你父親排除於你身體之外，因為佢喺你嘅每一個細胞裏邊都存在。
Getting angry at your father is getting angry at yourself.
其實嬲你爸爸即係嬲你自己啫。
Getting angry at your son means also getting angry at yourself.
其實嬲你個仔，亦都係嬲你自己咁解。
In the Buddhist teaching, father and son are not exactly two persons, so separate persons.
咁喺佛教嘅教導裏邊，爸爸同個仔唔係兩個斷然不同嘅人嚟嘅。
The son is the continuation of the father in the direction of the future.
咁個仔係父親嘅延續，係喺向未來嘅方向嘅延續嚟嘅。
The son will bring the father to the future.
咁個仔就把父親帶到去未來。
The father is the continuation of the son in the direction of the past.
咁父親亦都係個仔嘅向過去嘅延續。
And thanks to the father, the son can touch all his ancestors.
因為爸爸嘅存在，所以個仔仔能夠去接觸過往歷代嘅祖先。
In the teaching of the middle path, it is said that the true nature of father and son is the nature of no sameness, no otherness.
咁喺中道嘅教導裏邊咧，爸爸同個仔嘅關係就可以話係不一不二。
And that is the true teaching of no self.
呢個咧就係真正無我嘅教導。
So no self is not a philosophy, a notion, but a kind of insight, a kind of concentration that you have to keep alive during your daily life.
咁其實呢個無我唔係一個哲學嘅思想，其實係呢一個深入明白嘅了解嚟，而係你應該時時將呢個明白了解呢，去帶出嚟喺日常生活之中去實踐運用。
Impermanence, no self, the right view, foundation of right thinking, right speech, and right action.
呢個無常無我係正見嚟嘅，亦都係正語、正業同埋正行嘅基礎。
We need to understand impermanence and no self in that way, so that we can see that this teaching is very essential to our relationship.
咁我哋應該咁樣去咁樣去明白理解無常無我，亦都能夠把呢個無常無我嘅理解呢，活用於我哋喺人際關係上邊。
The teaching of the Buddha on love is very clear and complete.
佛陀嘅對愛嘅教導係非常清楚同埋全面嘅。
There are 4 elements of true love. The first one is Maitri, loving kindness.
喺佛陀教導嘅慈愛之中係有4個因素。第一個呢就係慈。
Maitri is the capacity to offer happiness to the other person.
慈悲嘅慈嘅意思就係給予對方快樂。
Without understanding his or her suffering, you cannot do so.
咁如果你唔明白對方嘅痛苦，你係唔可以令到對方有幸福嘅。
The second element is Karuna, the capacity to remove the pain, the suffering from him or her.
咁第二個因素呢，就係悲，悲嘅意思就係能夠解除對方嘅痛苦。
Again, if you don't understand the nature of his or her suffering, you cannot help remove that suffering from him or her.
咁同樣地，你如果唔明白對方嘅痛苦同埋困難，你係唔可以令佢減除佢嘅痛苦嘅。
The third element is mudita, joy. If you make by loving, you make the other person cry, and you yourself have to cry a lot. That is not true love.
咁如果第三個因素就係喜啦，慈悲喜呢個喜啦。咁如果令到對方喊啊、哭泣啊，咁呢個就唔係修練呢個慈心善。
And the fourth element of true love spoken by the Buddha is upeksha, which means inclusiveness, non-discrimination.
咁喺呢個佛陀所講嘅真愛嘅4種元素，慈悲喜捨，最後一種嘅捨呢，就係呢種無分別啊、放下嘅意思。
When you truly love someone, his suffering, his happiness become your own suffering and happiness.
咁當你能夠真正去做到明白真愛嘅時候，對方嘅痛苦同埋對方嘅幸福，其實就係你嘅痛苦同埋你嘅幸福啦。
That is true with husband and wife, father and son, mother and daughter.
咁以上所講嘅説法呢，其實可以係喺夫妻之間啦、父子之間啦，同埋父女之間啦， 都係真應用嘅。
According to the Buddhist teaching, happiness and suffering are not individual matters.
喺佛陀嘅教化裏邊，呢一個幸福同埋痛苦唔係絕然不同嘅。
If the father suffers deeply, there is no way that the son can be happy, and vice versa.
咁當個父親係父親係感到痛苦，個仔係冇可能幸福嘅。咁調翻轉頭亦如是。
The teaching of the Buddha is very practical. If we apply it into our daily life, we will suffer less right away and begin to be happy and make the other person happy also.
咁其實佛陀嘅教導係好實用嘅。如果你去應用佢嘅時候，你真係可以令到你自己當下得到幸福同埋快樂，亦都可以為其他人帶嚟幸福同埋快樂。
Sister Chang Khong will conclude this talk.
Sister Chang Khong咧，而家就會為大家唱一首歌去結束呢一個講座。
Thank you for listening.
多謝大家嘅聆聽。
Smile to the star that still shine in the sky, to the sun that slowly guides us out of the night, to the day that begins, to the enchanting bird. I smile to the world, and the world smiles to me. I smile to the child that crosses my way. I remember also on those who are hungry, those who live in misery all over the planet, who have to face the war, who lost their mother. If sometimes my smile is moistened by tears, when I see the great pain that spreads over the world, I shall still be smiling with tears in my eyes, smiling to life, smiling to death. And one day will come when it is bitterly cold, when even my footsteps will not leave any mark. The never-ending current of life's energy will carry me along, and I will not look back. The fear will no longer block my way. My heart finally opens very wide. Then I will become the smile of the earth, of the flower, of the sun, of the rain and the wind. And one day, perhaps in a very small child, I will open my eyes to the wonders of life, and a little more loving, and a little more smiling, I will continue this wonderful way. I smile to the star that still shine in the sky, to the sun that slowly guides us out of the night, to the day that begins, to the end enchanting birds. I smile to the world, and the world smiles to me. I smile to a child that crosses my way. I remember also on those who are hungry, those who live in misery all over the planet, who have to face a war, who lost their mother. If sometimes my smile is moistened by tears, when I see the great pain that spreads over the world, I shall still be smiling with tears in my eyes, smiling to life, smiling to death. And one day will come when it is bitterly cold, when even my footsteps will not leave any mark. The never-ending current of life's energy will carry me along, and I will not look back. The fear will no longer block my way. My heart finally opens very wide. Then I will become the smile of the earth, of the flower, of the rain, of the sun and the wind. And one day, perhaps in a very small child, I will open my eyes to the wonders of life, and a little more loving, and a little more smiling, I will continue this wonderful way. I will continue this wonderful way.
Thank you very much, Sister Thich Nhat.
Dear friends, I would like to thank those who come to Plum Village and like the practice and bring the practice back to Hong Kong. And thanks to the number of practitioners increase every year, now we have this event which is really very special, and we are very happy to have this event.
Sister 咧就話佢好誠心咁多謝曾經去過梅村嘅人，而翻到嚟咧香港安排呢啲咁多嘅活動，而佢哋係非常感到快慰咧呢幾日喺香港所辦嘅活動嘅。
I know that there are many generous hearts, many generous hands for this event to happen, but we wish that you can read all the literature distributed to you on your chair to know more about this practice, and maybe in the near future we will have the presence of a group of practitioners of Plum Village in Hong Kong.
咁就希望大家咧細讀你哋座位上邊嘅一啲單張啦。咁佢哋亦都係希望咧能夠喺不久將來咧能夠喺香港咧就有一啲禪修嘅僧團。
As very late, I don't dare to make you lose time, but I would like to inform you that in Plum Village, as well as in 8 monasteries belonging to Plum Village in the United States, in Germany, in France, we try to have one day without car per week in order to save, to protect our planet.
咁佢同大家講咧就係喺佢哋梅村嘅 僧團裏邊呢，喺世界上有8個。咁呢8個僧團呢，佢哋呢都係堅持啊，每一個星期裏邊呢，有一天呢係唔用汽車，而去為我哋地球呢做出一點嘅貢獻。
And we would like to inform you that there is a website www.car-free-days with an S and .org. And if you can open, and there's more information about how to save our planet with 1 day without car per week. And there are, I think that more than 100,000 people join that effort.
咁呢就佢有一個網址，大家可以去睇睇佢頭先所講嗰啲嘢呢，就係 www.car-free-days.org，就關於如何去能夠參與呢一個星期每一日有一日唔用車嘅建議嘅。
Now we let Walter explain.
Thank you. 而家我哋恭請李卓芬教授代表所有嘅主辦單位致謝詞。Ladies and gentlemen, may I call upon Professor C.F. Lee to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of all the organizers.
Our heartfelt thanks, dear Zen Master, for the most inspiring, most enlightening talk on coming home to this present moment, on the importance of understanding and caring for ourselves and others, and on the fruits of mindful living. We should also thank Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh for his excellent translation. 顯空法師嘅精彩翻譯，令我哋在座好多人更了解禪師精辟嘅開示。We like to thank the brothers and sisters from village for the beautiful song and the very inspiring music. Thank you. We thank our co-organizer, the Hong Kong Institute of Education, the Qi Ming Buddhist Center, the Dong Li Gok Yuan, along with the supporting organization and all the hardworking volunteers for making this possible. May I now invite Dr. Wong of the Hong Kong Institute of Education, Mr. Zhang Hock San, and Chairman of the Qi Ming Buddhist Center, and Mrs. Caroline Holt, representing Dong Li Gok Yuan, to come up to the stage and present a gift to our Zen Master, please.
我哋邀請其他嘅主辦單位前明佛學園地聯席主席莊學山先生、香港教育學院宗教教育及心靈教育中心主任黃炳豪博士同埋馮海若女士一齊致送一個紀念品俾尊敬嘅一行禪師。
The Chinese coupling means our Zen Master has used the three vehicles of Buddhism to purify the mind and remove worries from all of us. And he has taught us to focus on the present moment, live in the present moment. If we do that, then we'll feel free and happy.
三乘化四眾正念相續隨熱路，一行無二語，活在當下自清靜。
我同大家報告一下咧，禪師今日身體係抱恙嘅，佢早上都仲睇咗醫生，但係禪師今晚仲係同我哋做咗一場非常之精彩、充滿智慧同慈悲嘅開示。 我哋非常之感激嘅禪師。Thanks again, Thich Nhat Hanh. We hope you a safe trip home and hope you will come back before long. Thank you.
And I know the Zen Master also had a souvenir to present to 3 organizers. 我知道禪師都準備咗一個非常之珍貴嘅禮品送俾我哋今次3個主辦單位啊！多謝晒咁多位主辦單位，你哋嘅慈悲，多謝禪師 ，Thank you very much。請各位起立。喺呢度，我哋用最熱烈嘅掌聲、最虔誠嘅掌聲，再次多謝一行禪師。喺呢度，我哋再次多謝3個主辦單位：香港大學佛學研究中心、香港教育學院宗教教育及心靈教育中心、慈明佛學園地組織呢一次嘅一行禪師香港弘法活動。多謝晒佢哋，亦都感謝主要嘅贊助單位東蓮國院、Press Room、Tom Lee 明國特行，我哋一併多謝佢哋。如果各位想同香港嘅梅村有聯絡嘅話，大家可以上呢個網址 www.plumvillage.org.hk。 If you want to keep contact with Plum Village Hong Kong, you may visit the website www.plumvillage.org.hk. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. 多謝各位，記住你哋同生命有約，呢個約會係當下。多謝。Remember, you have an appointment with life, and the appointment is here and now. Enjoy.